Most people lie about money, not out loud, but in silence and shame. In denial, they say things like money doesn't matter, rich people are greedy, or I just want enough to be comfortable. But deep down, they want freedom, options, power. They want more, but they're too afraid to admit it. Here's the brutal truth. Money controls everything, whether you understand it or not. And the less you understand it, the more it controls. You dot the job you hate, the relationships you settle for, the dreams you abandon. Most of it comes down to money. But nobody teaches you the real rules. School didn't, your parents didn't, and the internet mostly sells illusions. This video is your wake-up call, not soft advice, not feel-good tips, but harsh truths, the kind that sting now, but free you later. You'll hear the realities most people ignore. The financial mindsets that separate the trap from the free, because once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. And when you stop running from it, you can finally take control. Let's begin. Point 1. Money buys freedom, not happiness. Everyone says money can't buy happiness. But here's what they don't tell you: it buys freedom. And freedom feels a lot like happiness when you've never had it. The freedom to walk away from a toxic boss, to move where you want, to spend your time doing what matters. Money isn't a crown, it's a key, but most people chase the glitter instead of the gate. They blow it on dopamine, not decisions, and they wonder why life still feels like a prison, even when the paycheck's bigger. Here's the harsh truth: happiness fades, freedom stays. And money, if used right, can give you the power to design your own life. Stop asking it to bring you joy, start using it to buy options. Because the people who look the happiest often just bought better cages. The ones who are truly free, they bought the key too. You're poor because you're playing defense. Most people think being good with money means cutting coffee, clipping coupons, and praying for discounts. That's defense, and defense doesn't win championships. Wealth is built on offense, skills, offers, sales, equity, leverage. But schools teach you to survive, not attack. So you grow up cautious, calculated, careful, and broke. You can't save your way to wealth because there's a ceiling to how much you can cut. But there's no ceiling on how much you can earn. The rich think expansion, the broke think restriction. You don't get rich by holding on to pennies. You get rich by learning how to create value, solve painful problems, and multiply results. If your financial plan is just budgeting, you've already lost. Start learning high-income skills. Start thinking leverage, not labor. Stop playing defense with your future. Because offense isn't optional, it's survival. Point 3. No one's coming to rescue you. Financially waiting is the enemy. Waiting for a raise, waiting for the government, waiting for someone to come fix your life. But here's the truth: no one's coming. Not your parents, not your job, not your degree. If you don't build the escape plan, you stay trapped. This world doesn't hand out financial freedom, it makes you earn it. You're not an employee in your life, you're the CEO, and your money? That's your company. Every dollar is a soldier. Every investment a strategy, so stop waiting for external miracles. Start building internal systems. Start thinking like a leader, not a dependent. Because the moment you realize it's all on you is the moment you take real control. Financial freedom isn't gifted. It's engineered by those brave enough to stop hoping and start executing. For time is more valuable than money, but most waste both. Here's what poor people don't get: time is your most precious currency. You can earn back lost money, but time, once gone, it's gone forever. Yet every day, people burn hours like they're worthless. They scroll, they binge, they delay, and worst of all, they trade time for money without ever thinking long-term. Wealthy people guard their time like treasure. They buy back hours through delegation, automation, and leverage. Because they know your calendar is your future. Every hour wasted today is a payday that never comes. Stop thinking of money as the goal. Start thinking of time as the asset. Because when your time is owned by someone else, so is your life. Want wealth? Buy your time back, then invest it with precision. or waste it and stay broke forever. 5. Debt is enslavement disguised as comfort. They sell it to you as freedom. Drive now, pay later. Live your dreams today. Don't worry about the price, but that shiny credit card. It's a leash. Debt doesn't feel like chains at first. It feels like luxury. Until the bills stack. Until the interest compounds. Until you realize your future has been sold off in monthly payments. Most people aren't living rich. They're borrowing rich and living stressed. Because debt is a trap, a beautiful velvet-lined trap. And unless you learn to delay gratification, you become a servant to a system designed to keep you working forever. You don't own that car, it owns you. You don't control that house, the bank does. Freedom doesn't live in buy now, pay later. It lives in the discipline to say, not yet, because every dollar borrowed is a chain you'll wear tomorrow. 6. Most people stay broke because they fear boredom. Everyone wants wealth, but almost no one wants the process. Because the process, it's boring. Budgeting, tracking, repeating, reading books instead of watching reels, investing in ETFs instead of chasing crypto hype. It's not sexy, it doesn't give dopamine, but it works. Meanwhile, the broke, they chase excitement. New side hustles every week, new business ideas, new get-rich-quick hacks, and zero progress. The truth, the boring work builds the exciting life. The real winners repeat the same simple disciplines daily, quietly, relentlessly. They're not addicted to motivation, they're addicted to mastery. If you can't stomach routine, you'll never build anything worth keeping. Because wealth isn't created in bursts, it's built in boredom. Success is hidden in the repetition you keep avoiding. So stop running from the dull, lean into it. Because boredom, done right, pays better than thrills ever will. 7. Financial literacy is a weapon, and you're unarmed. You wouldn't walk into a war zone without armor. But every day, you step into a world of money, completely unarmed. No knowledge of taxes, no clue about inflation, no understanding of compound interest, equity, or debt structures, and then you wonder why you're losing. You're not stupid, you're just unequipped. Because no one handed you the playbook. Schools don't teach it, most parents don't know it. And influencers just sell dreams. But here's the truth, if you don't understand money, you will always be controlled by those who do. Financial literacy isn't optional, it's survival. It's how the wealthy stay wealthy, it's how the middle class disappears. You're being taxed, charged, drained, and you don't even know it. So learn, read, ask, because the world runs on money, and if you don't speak its language, you're just a pawn. 8. You will be judged by how you handle money. People watch. They notice when you borrow and never repay, when your card declines, when you spend recklessly, brag loudly, or hide behind fake wealth. It's not about having money, it's about how you manage it. Because your financial discipline reflects your character, self-control, planning, integrity. You don't need to be rich to earn respect. You need to be intentional. When you respect your money, no matter how little, others respect you. But if you treat it like a joke, don't be surprised when no one takes you seriously. Money isn't just numbers, it's a mirror. And it reflects everything: your habits, your priorities, your level of personal responsibility. So track what you spend, keep your promises, live within your means, and grow beyond them. Because the world may not judge your net worth, but it absolutely judges your financial behavior. Point 9. Your emotions are making you poor. Most financial decisions aren't logical, they're emotional. We spend to impress, save out of fear, avoid investing because of shame. Guilt keeps us giving beyond our means, fear keeps us small, and ego makes us chase image over assets. It's like trying to navigate with a broken compass. The more emotional you are, the more lost you get. Until you heal your relationship with money, it will always control you. That means unpacking the childhood beliefs, confronting them, stories, rewiring your triggers. You don't need another budgeting app. You need emotional clarity. Because your bank account is often just a reflection of your nervous system. The calmer you are, the clearer you spend. The clearer you think, the better you build. So stop blaming your income, start questioning your instincts. Because the enemy isn't always the system. Sometimes it's your scar's hen, saving without. Investing is just hoarding. Saving is smart, but it's not enough. A savings account protects your money, but it doesn't grow it. It's the seat belt, not the engine. And if all you do is save, inflation eats your future alive. That's why most people do everything right and still retire broke, because they never learned how to invest. They feared risk, they feared complexity. And that fear cost them decades of growth. The wealthy don't just save, they multiply. They understand risk, they study trends, they move with patience and precision. And over time, their money works harder than they do. If you're not learning to invest, stocks, real estate, businesses, even your own skills, then your money is dying slowly. So protect it, yes. But then put it to work, because financial security doesn't come from storage, it comes from strategy. 11. You're one emergency away from financial collapse. Most people don't realize how fragile they are. One flat tire and they're broke, one hospital visit, and it's dead for years, one job loss, and the roof starts shaking. It's not just unfortunate, it's dangerous. And yet, they scroll, spend, pretend, living paycheck to paycheck. Like the system won't break, like they won't get sick. Like the unexpected is unexpected, but reality doesn't care about comfort. It shows up uninvited and unkind. The truth? You're not safe until you build your own cushion. An emergency fund isn't optional, it's survival. Start small, cut the noise, stack relentlessly. Because when the storm comes, you don't rise to the moment. You fall to your preparation, and for most, that fall is a financial cliff. Don't wait for the lesson to cost everything. Build now, while you still can. Point 1-2, nobody cares how hard you work. Just what you produce. You can grind 80 hours a week. Sleep 3 hours a night, bleed for your job. But if it doesn't produce value, no one cares. The market doesn't reward effort, it rewards results. You're not paid for how hard you try. You're paid for what problems you solve, for who you help, for what you deliver. It's a hard pill to swallow, but a liberating one. Because once you stop seeking pity, you start seeking power. Want more income, package more value. Refine your skills, speak the language of outcomes. Quote, sweat doesn't pay, value does, so stop bragging about being busy, start learning how to matter, because the ones who rise aren't always the hardest working. They're the ones who work hard on what pays. 13. Most advice about money is garbage. Be careful who you listen to. Because most people talking about money don't have any. They'll tell you to just follow your passion, that debt is normal, that you only live once, so spend it all. But here's the harsh truth. You're taking health advice from a corpse. Your broke friend with opinions, ignore him. Your uncle stuck in 1983, smile, then move on. Even social media experts check their track record, because noise is loud, but results are quiet. Vet your mentors. Follow people with receipts, people who've built something real, and if you can't find them in person, read their books, watch their interviews. Because one good teacher can change everything, but bad advice can keep you broke for life. Guard your mind, because bad information is more expensive than failure. Point 14. You're already paying a price. Even if you're not spending, you think you're being safe. By saving, by avoiding risk, by doing nothing. But in money, even inaction is expensive. Every month you don't invest, you lose time. Every year you don't learn, you stay small. Every risk you avoid, you pay in regret. Avoidance isn't free, it just sends the bill later. In missed compound growth, in stagnant income. In a life that feels stuck, you think you're protecting yourself, but you're just delaying the pain. The cost is just hidden, quiet, growing behind the scenes. So stop saying someday, stop telling yourself you're not ready. Because time doesn't pause while you hesitate, every moment matters. And every decision, even indecision, has a price tag. Start now, because the cost of waiting is everything you could have had. 15. Rich isn't a number, it's a mindset. You think being rich is about a number. 1 million, 10 million, a dream house, but that's not wealth. That's decoration. True wealth is security. It's walking into a room and knowing you own no one. It's confidence, not flex, control, not chaos. And it begins long before the money shows up, because people who become rich start thinking rich when they're still broke. They track every dollar, they delay what doesn't matter. They build habits that compound. They value time like gold, and one day, the bank account catches up. So don't chase numbers. Build discipline, control, clarity, because you don't become rich when you hit a number. You become rich when your mind refuses to stay broke. The mindset is the soil. The money is just the fruit. If this hit you, good. It means you're awake now. Rewatch, reflect, act, because most people ignore these truths and stay trapped. But you're not most people. Start building the life your future self will thank you for.